So what does a little Hawaii boy know about making Cajun jambalaya? Would you believe I'm actually a certified Cajun chef? It's true! Back in college, my friend and I decided to head over to New Orleans for spring break. We wound up taking a class at the New Orleans School of Cooking, and I got a certificate and everything. So since Mardi Gras is coming up soon, I thought I'd make some of my classic jambalaya. Let's start with the basics. The core of Cajun cooking is the Holy Trinity. That would be celery, onions, and bell peppers. Does that sound familiar? It's similar to a mirepoix in French cooking, which is celery, onions, and carrot. But bell peppers like the weather in the warm south better than carrots do. Actually, Cajuns themselves speak French as well. They were originally the French who had settled in Acadia, Canada, but got exiled and had to migrate all the way down to the swamps of Louisiana. And Acadians became Cajuns. The only problem with the Holy Trinity is that I really don't care for bell peppers, so I'm just gonna omit them from my jambalaya. If celery, onions, and bell peppers are the Holy Trinity, then garlic is regarded as the Pope. Cajuns use garlic liberally to unify the flavors of the other three. So I'm going to be using a whole bulb here. I really wound up loving New Orleans. I was very homesick in college, but I still wanted to explore as much of the mainland as I could. Though we were heading away from Hawaii, there was something about New Orleans that made me feel so at home. Maybe it was the climate. The humidity and warmth from the Gulf felt similar to the tropical islands of Hawaii. Creole culture and language are similar to our own local pidgin, a mishmash of native and immigrant languages. Here's where I'm going to put my own Hawaii spin on this dish. Normally, we'd be using Cajun andouille, but since I'm not actually in Louisiana, I'm going to use a local Hawaii favorite, Portuguese sausage. Here's another twist. In New Orleans, you definitely make jambalaya with long grain white rice. But in Hawaii, short grain Japanese Calrose rice is the norm. It's gonna be much softer, a bit stickier, and wetter than the rice in the traditional jambalaya. But that's what makes my own version unique and local. To be honest, we don't really have a lot of good Cajun or Southern food here in Hawaii. I mean, we are a whole continent and a half an ocean away. But we do have a big military presence, with a lot of the guys stationed here originally from the South. So we do get a number of Southern restaurants, like Dixie Grill, that would pop up from time to time, but they usually don't last very long. So I wouldn't say that folks around here are all that familiar what really traditional Cajun food tastes like. So I can definitely put my own spin on it, and nobody could tell. We're just going to layer in all the ingredients. When I learned that history, I couldn't help but compare them Cajuns to the Hakka Chinese, who landed in Guangdong, and a number of which made Hawaii home. They were a plantation town, just like us, with similar crops even. One place where you really gotta get the authentic stuff though, is the seasoning. There are many Cajun spice blends out in the market, but honestly, none of them taste right to me. It's like those old salsa commercials where they said the other guy's salsa was made in New York City. If you want real authentic jambalaya, you need real authentic Cajun spices. So I always get mine shipped in all the way from New Orleans, from the very school where I first learned it all those years ago. The joke at the school was that when they say to use a tablespoon of the spice, this is what they really mean. But combined with the different spices in the Portuguese sausage, creates a whole new symphony of flavors. Now for other stews, I would just go play some Diablo and come out and stir it every half an hour. But because of the rice in the jambalaya, you have to pay more attention to it. Stir it once at the 15-minute mark, and then again at the 30-minute mark, and then every 5 minutes for another 15 to 20 minutes. If you don't stir it regularly, the rice will burn. At the 30-minute mark, you can drop in the faster cooking celery. Voodoo runs deep through the core of their culture, and I could feel it, the way that I feel the mana of the islands. For the last 5 minutes, toss in a bag of shrimp. Shrimp cook very fast, and you don't want them to get tough, but you also want that briny shrimp flavor permeating your pot as much as possible. Actually, we celebrate Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, here in Hawaii too, a little differently. In Hawaii, all of the Portuguese would need to use up all of their butter and sugar before Lent, so they would make big quantities of malasadas to give them out to all their friends. So Fat Tuesday is Malasada Day for us, and Leonard's Bakery is always packed. And that's it! My Hawaiian-style Cajun Jambalaya. As Justin Wilson would say, "Woo-wee! This gonna be good, I guarantee." Yeah, that spice blend is the real deal. It's spicy and smoky, but with so much depth of flavor. The heat doesn't overpower all the other flavors in there. The same way different instruments of a Bourbon Street jazz band with different sounds create different harmonies, so do the flavors of all the different ingredients in this pot. I just don't have the words to describe how complex and layered it is. Ooh, that shrimp and that chicken go so well together. As they say down in New Orleans, laissez le bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Until next time, Joy Kim and a hui ho.